Hello everybody, welcome to today's class. Now in this class we shall discuss about nomenclature of organic compounds. Now before entering into the matter, just two things to clear. First of all, this is a vast thing, so many organic compounds are there, so it is not possible to cover everything in a single class. So there will be a multiple class and this is the first of them, number one. Number two, in order to explain the IUPAC nomenclature, first of all we have to know what does it mean, and before that what is the necessity of this. Now we know that, I am sure that many of you have too many names, and if each and every names are used, then there will be a little bit confusion about you to others, because in some cases if I call you by one name, some group of people may not know you, and from that point of view a good name is required, and we all have a good name by which we are recognized everywhere. Now there are lot of organic compounds, millions of organic compounds are there. So if they have local names, that is one name in India, another in USA, another in Australia, then there will be a little bit confusion about the compounds. That is why one uniform name is required, one universal name is required. At least by that name each and every people can understand them or can write down the structure of them. Okay, so from that point of view it is required to have a good name of organic compounds, or to have a system following which we can give the name of any organic compound. Now in our case, our parents mostly or our close relatives are supposed to give the good names. So in case of organic compounds, who are the authority to give their name? Now the authority to give the name of any organic compound or to regulate the name of organic compound is already written here. IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. They are the organization who give the names of organic compounds, who gives the rules to give the name of organic compounds. Most of the students are fearful about naming system of organic compounds, but I can assure you, if you follow the class today and after that, then I hope there will be no confusion in you about nomenclature of organic compounds. In that case we have to follow just few rules, following which automatically you will be able to give the name of organic compounds. Now for you I have already written the rules to give the name of organic compounds, and as in our case, first of all we have one name, then maybe middle name, then surname. In some cases we have names like this: first of all my first name, my second name, my parents name, my village name. So there are so many systems are there. For organic compounds the system is like this. First of all one main name will be there, which is called root name. I am coming in details after some time, and before root name some portion will be there. This is called prefixes. Pre means earlier, that is before the root name or root word, this portion will come, which is called prefixes. And prefixes may be of two types, one is primary, another is secondary. Now what does primary prefix means? Primary prefix means whether in any compound cyclic structure is there or not, spiral structure is there or not. So if any cyclic compound is there, so before the root name the word simply cyclo is to be added. So this is called primary prefix. This may be present in a compound, may not be also. And in some cases in organic compounds halogens may be there, chlorine, bromine, iodine and so on. Nitrogen group may be there, and so many groups may be there. So if these type of groups are there, they are called substituent. Okay, so these substituents are named before the main name, like this. If fluorine is there, the term fluoro is added. If iodine is there, the term iodo is added. Don't be confused about this thing. All these things will come one by one in different examples, and when they will come, I shall make these things clear. Just right now know this thing. Before the main name or root name, primary name may be there, may not be there also, and secondary name may be there, may not be there also. But whatever may be the case, if these and these are there, they are to be mentioned before the root name. Now after that, like our surname, the organic compounds may also have surname type of things. They are called suffixes. Suffix means something or some group of words or group of letters rather, they will be added after the main thing, main name, here the root word. And these suffixes may be of two types again. One is primary, another is secondary. Now the question arises, what does primary suffix mean? Primary suffix simply indicates the saturation level of any organic compound, that is whether the compound is saturated or unsaturated. Like this, if all carbon-carbon single bonds are there, then the compound will be saturated. So for that, after this word N will be added. And if carbon-carbon double bond is there, then after this thing, after root word, one ENE will be there, and for triple bond ine will be there. Okay, and if in any compound, even after this, some special functional groups are there, like alcohol, OH group, don't worry about this thing. I have already discussed about functional groups in details in one of my videos. So if you have not seen this one, I am giving the links, go through this at least once. And one more thing, you may read these things from your book also. And without these functional groups, you will not be able to name any organic compound at all. So first of all, memorize this thing, the root names, I am coming later on, then the functional groups names. Now come to the main thing, root word or root name. In any compound, we know that carbon atom is a must. One carbon may be there, multiple carbon atoms are there. Depending on the number of carbon atoms in longest carbon chain of this compound. Once again, don't be confused about longest carbon chain. After some time I am discussing this thing. So if in a longest carbon chain one carbon is there, the compound will be termed as essentially meth. This term will be there, essentially will be there in the name of this compound. If in any compound similarly two carbon atoms are there, then essentially the term eth will be there. So this and in this way up to 10, that is for 3 it will be prop, for 4 but, pent, hex, hept, oct, non, dec. In this way, depending on the number of carbon atoms, the root names will come. So up to this, just know this thing. In order to give the IUPAC name, basically we have to know three things. First of all, root name, then prefixes, then suffixes. Again, this may be of two type, this may be of two type, and if we just write down them one after one, we shall have the complete name of the compound. So I hope you have understood the basic things, and in this class we shall discuss the complete naming system of alkanes, that is saturated hydrocarbon. Alkane. Let us consider this compound. There are some rules to follow in order to give the name of this compound. Now first rule will be to find out the longest carbon chain. Again, what does longest carbon chain mean? Now longest carbon chain means how long we are getting carbon one after one. That is, in this compound actually the carbon atoms are linked in this way, and with these 3 hydrogens are there in this way, with these 2 hydrogen, with these 3 hydrogens. So carbon directly linked to carbon, carbon directly linked to carbon. So this is called the chain. This is longest carbon chain in this compound. So to write down the name of any organic compound, first of all we have to find out the longest carbon chain. We have to know how many carbon atoms are there. So for that the carbon atoms will be 1, 2, 3. So 3 carbon atoms are there, and if in any longest chain 3 carbon atoms are there, then we may say that the compound is obtained from propane. It is coming from propane, it is derived from propane. If any compound is obtained from propane, then compound is called propane system, and this longest chain is termed as, this is termed as parent chain. Now the name of this compound should be given. Now root word for 3 carbon containing system will be prop. Now come to this. Is it a cyclic compound? No. So nothing will be there from this. Are there anything from this portion? Nothing is there. So in this portion nothing will be there. Now come to suffix portion. Is it saturated or unsaturated? Now it is clear that no double or triple bond is there. So this is saturated compound. For saturated the term N will be added. So after proof the term N will be added. Now next thing, is there any special functional group here from this chart? No, no functional group is there. So nothing will come here. So in this compound only one root word will be there and only one from here. Collectively propane will be there. So according to this rule, this will be the IUPAC name of this compound. Now let me give one more example. The next case will be to find out the longest carbon chain and to give the numbering to the carbon atom. 5, or someone may go from right side also. Now from every side the longest chain is 5. So the system will be pentane system. In this compound it is no cyclic structure is there. So from here nothing will be there. No special element like this, no bromine, no halogen, no like this. Any of these is not present. So nothing will be there in the first portion, prefix portion. Directly root word is to be used. Since 5 carbon atoms are there, so the term pent will be there. Pent will be there. Now come to this, that is suffixes. This compound is saturated one. Since it is saturated, this term will be added. So we shall add N. Now is there any functional group from this list? No, no functional group is there from this list. So after that nothing will be there. So altogether this will be the IUPAC name of this compound. Now one more thing to keep in mind, in this compound when we are writing down the IUPAC name, not for this one, it is applicable for each and every compound, the first letter will be capital. And one more thing, between root word and suffix no space will be there. So this is the name of this compound, and in this way the compounds are named. Now we know that all the 2 examples we have already discussed are straight chains, but in reality there are so many compounds which are not so straight, there are branches. Now the question will arise, how to name the branched chain compounds. So right now we shall discuss some of them and we shall discuss each and every rule regarding the naming of branched chain hydrocarbons. And one more thing, this is not the naming of hydrocarbon. You don't see this thing in this way, because once you understand the naming system of hydrocarbon, automatically the naming system of alcohol, aldehyde, ketone and each and every name will be easier, because these are the basic things. Naming the chain is the basic one, identifying the chain is basic one. This will be applicable for each and every case. So don't consider this class as the naming of alkane only, but think this one as the starting of IUPAC nomenclature system. Then it will be beneficial to you, and see the video till the end, then you will have a crystal clear idea how to give the name of alkanes, because just modifying little bit you will be able to give the IUPAC name of each and every compound. So let's go to the branched chain hydrocarbons. Now if branched chain are there, then how to give the name of this compound, that we shall learn right now. Let us write down one example to make it clear. So first rule will be to find out the longest carbon chain, and we are applying this one in this example. This is the compound. We have to find out the longest carbon chain first. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So from this side, max 7 carbon atoms are coming. Now if we change our direction little bit like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this we are getting the longest carbon chain, this one. Okay, so we have identified the longest carbon chain. Now the basic thing will be there, how to give the numbering of the carbon atoms. Now if no side chain is there, now beside the chain one portion is there, which is this one. This is called side chain. So this is called parent chain and this is called side chain, or another name is there, it is called substituent. If we proceed from left, then the carbon atoms may be numbered in this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 carbon atoms are there. And one more important thing, the side chain, that is CH3 group, is linked to this carbon, which is 4 from left. Now let's see what happens if we proceed from right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again this is on 4. So since this side chain is coming on 4th carbon atom from either of the sides, so you can give the numbering from any side, from left side or from right side. So this is the proper way of giving the number to the carbon atoms. Now what will be the name of this compound? Again we shall simply follow this rule. First of all, is there any prefix? Now see the structure of the compound. Beyond the chain, main chain, parent chain, some portion is there. Here it is CH3 group, which is termed as substituent or side chain. Now this is R group, that is this is any alkyl group. Here it is CH3. So one secondary prefix is there. So we have to write down this one at first. Now what will come in this place? CH3 group, it is called methyl group. This is methyl, so we are writing the term methyl. Now this portion is over. Primary prefix. Now is there any primary prefix? No, it is not cyclic, so nothing is to be mentioned. Now come to this portion, root word. 7 carbon atoms are there. So for 7 the root name will be hept. So we have to write hept here along with this. Now one more thing, is there anything from this? Definitely each and every cases some portion from this or this will be there, because the compound will be either saturated or unsaturated. So essentially one will be there. Now since no multiple bond is there, this is this, that is alkane system. So one N will be added. Okay. Now one more thing is to be considered. If we write down methyl, then one question may arise, what is the position of this methyl group? Is it linked to 4th carbon atom? Is it linked to 2 or 3 or something else? So it is to be mentioned, otherwise you will be confused where actually the methyl group is linked. Since it is linked to 4th carbon atom, this 4 should be mentioned here before the name of this group. So one 4 is to be written followed by one hyphen. Now another new rule here, look, this is a number, this is a letter, so between a number and a letter one dash will be there, and once again this being the first letter of the name, it is capital, no space here, no space here. So the name of this compound is 4-methyl heptane. So we have already just given one step ahead, because this is a branch chain compound and we have named it successfully. Another type of possibility is there. If in any compound multiple side chains are there, in this one CH3 group is there, is it possible to have more than one CH3 group in a compound? Yes, there may be. So if this be the case, how to mention the name of this compound, and it will be clear if I just show one example to you. Now this one, so first of all we have to give the numbering 1 2 3 4 5 or 1 2 3 4 5 or 1 2 3 4 5. So only one possibility is there. In the longest carbon chain 5 carbon atoms are there, from whichever direction you choose to go. Now if this be the case, this is the longest carbon chain, and then this is one side chain, this is one side chain or substituent. Now in this the special thing is that 2 methyl groups are there. If 2 methyl groups are there, so this is little bit different from the previous one. Now we shall see how it is named. First of all, since these are the prefixes, so they are to be mentioned. We may write down 2-methyl, again may write down 4-methyl, but since several times methyl groups are there, we shall avoid writing the name repeatedly. Rather we shall follow one trick. In one word we shall include each and every group. Like this, 2 methyls are there. If 2 same groups are there, then the term di is written. If 3 same groups are there, then tri. If 4, then tetra, penta, hexa, and so on. So 2 methyl groups, so dimethyl. So dimethyl will be the secondary prefix of this compound. Now essentially the other question, 2 methyls are there, okay fine up to this, but where the methyl groups are there, is it clear from this? No, it is not clear. So you have to make it clear where the methyl groups are present. Look, this is present with 2nd carbon atom, this is present to 4th carbon atom, so they are to be mentioned. So one methyl is on 2nd, another is on 4th, and I have already mentioned here one dash will be there. Now if we write down in this way, it means that 24 dimethyl, but actually this is not the case, it is 2, it is 4. So we have to give one comma here. So this will make this portion, primary prefix. Is it cyclic? No. So no term will be there from cyclo. Now come to this one. After this we shall have this one, root word. It is 5 carbon containing. So it will be pent, the root name, and as usual it will be N. So the compound will be termed as this 2,4 dimethyl pentane, collectively pentane. So this will be the total name of this compound. Now in this compound there it was simple, but in some cases this type of simple structure may not be there. The side chain may be present in such a way that if we proceed from left side, its position is 1 something, and if we proceed from the other end, the position is differing. So what will be the rule for that? So our next rule of naming the longest chain is lowest number rule. Let me show by one example. Now let us consider this example. First of all, longest carbon chain 1, 2, 3, 4. Someone may say that no, I shall go from that direction. So is it possible? Why not? So let's see which one is correct. So first of all, 1, 2, 3, 4. So from 2 directions we have given the numbering of the carbon atoms. Now see which will be the correct way to give the numbering. In previous case it was same from either of the directions, but in that case this is little bit different. Why? Look, if we move from left to right, then the methyl group, that is the side chain which is coming on number 3 carbon atom, so position is 3 from left, and if we move from right, then the position is coming on 2. Now these two are called locant of the side chain or substituent. This locant will say you from which direction you have to go, and according to the IUPAC system, the lowest locant should be chosen. So if we proceed from right to left, it is 2. So this is lower than this one. So this will be the contributing factor depending on which we can give the numbering. So this is the proper way of numbering, and this is the wrong direction of numbering. Now nothing else, nothing new is there. So this is the name of the compound. This is one example. Now many more this type of possibilities are there, so we have to make them clear also, otherwise you will not be able to give the name of each and every compound. So let's see another example. Now look, this is the compound, just we are trying to give the numbering from left, from right. Now let's see the position of the groups. If we proceed from left to right, the side chains are coming on 2nd carbon atom and on 3rd carbon atom, and if we proceed from right, then the side chain, this one is coming on 3rd carbon atom and this is coming on 4th carbon atom. Now in this, first of all consider this set. This is 2, which is lower compared to this. This is lower, so this is higher. So this will be the determining factor from which side we have to give the numbering. So this is the correct way of numbering and this is wrong, and then we shall be able to give the name of this compound. Now we shall discuss another example. Now in this again 2 possibilities are there, so give the numbering. if we proceed from left, then the positions of 3 methyl groups are 2 for this, it is 2, 4 for this group, 4, and again another 4 for this group. These are the locants of methyl groups from left to right. Now what is about from the right? Now what will be the proper way of giving the numbering to the carbon atom? That is a question. Now again the lowest locant rule is to be remembered. Now see, first of all, this and this is second from left, this is second from right, so this is tie, so this will not decide. Now come to the second set. For the second group, this is the locant and this is the locant, so from right the second methyl group is coming first. That is why the correct way of giving the number is this, that is we have to give the numbering from right to left, not this one. So this is wrong, this is okay. Now let's write down the name of this compound. Similar thing are there, we have discussed earlier, that is why I am just writing the names. We shall not write down 2-methyl, 2-methyl, 4-methyl, rather trimethyl. So tri for 3 methyl groups. Now what next? The root name, it is pent, and since it is saturated ended with N, so this will be the name of this compound. So I hope you understood up to this, and if you are understanding this thing, then you are on the right way. Stay with this, one by one everything will become clear to you. One important thing to consider, if different side chains are there, in all the examples I have shown same side chain is there, that is every time I have considered methyl group, but the compounds may not contain methyl group every time. So what will be the case if different groups are there? Now let me explain this thing with one example. Now this is the compound. First of all, as usual, we shall give the numbering. Look, in this case, this is the longest carbon chain and 2 side chains are there. First of all, one methyl group, another group is this one, this is ethyl. So in this example 2 different groups are there. Now let's see the position of this group. If we find out this one from left, the methyl group is coming first and its position is 3 and its position is 5, and if we proceed from right to left, then the position is becoming 3 for ethyl group and 5 for methyl group. So if we see the locants only, this set is same, this set is also same, so these are not deciding anything. Okay, so what next? So from here the next rule comes, and in that case the rule says that if 2 different groups are there on same position from either of the sides, definitely, then the determining factor will be the alphabet of the name of the group. Now this group is starting with E, ethyl starting with E, and this is methyl with M. So this M and E are to be considered. We have to see which one is coming first. We know that alphabetically E comes first, so this group is to be preferred when we shall give the numbering to the carbon chain. Okay, and remember one thing, this only arises if this thing happens, this set is same, this set is also same, that is from either of the sides position should be same. If the positions are same, then the alphabetical order comes. So the correct direction of numbering is this one, and E comes first. So this we have to write down first. So this is 3-ethyl. This is one of the prefix. Now another prefix is there. This is also alkyl group. This is alkyl group. This is alkyl group. Both will come in this portion. So 3-ethyl for this one. Now for this one, so this portion is prefix portion. So prefix we have fixed. Now come to this one. This is a 7-membered chain. So from the list of root names, it is clear that the term hept will be there. So we shall write down here hept, and since it is saturated, one N will be there. So collectively this is the name of this compound. So 3-ethyl, 5-methyl, and look one thing, one dash here, another dash here, because always between one number and letter dash or hyphen will be given. Now if we change the positions of these groups little bit, then another interesting thing arises. So what is the interesting thing? Let me show one example, then I am coming to the rule. We have to next give the numbering to the carbon atoms. Let me show the positions. If we start from left, and if we start from left, the positions are 3 for this ethyl and 5 for this methyl. Now since this is lower, so we have to give the numbering to the carbon atom from left side, because this is lower compared to this. So right way of giving the numbers is this one, and so this is wrong, this is correct. If we want to give the name of this compound, one guideline will be required, because one contradiction is there. Up to this we know that the alphabetical order is to be followed. Again, in another rule we know that locant are to be preferred, but in this a mixing is there. First of all, the locants are saying that this is the correct way of giving the numbers, and alphabetical order shows that this is to be mentioned first, this is to be preferred. But in that case, the locant will be the one which will control the numbering. But when we shall write down the name of the compounds, then we have to give the preference to the alphabetical order. So this will come first before this. So the name of this compound will be, so remember one thing, numbering is controlled by lowest number rule, and this is mentioned here before this, and this is controlled by the next rule of alphabetical order. So this is coming first, this last. So I hope this is clear. Now in this way, if halogen atoms are there, let us consider one chlorine atom is here and bromine. If this be the case, if it is one bromine and this be chlorine, then also similar thing will arise, because bromo starts with B and chloro starts with C. Since B comes first, so here it will be bromo, then it will come. In this case, and if it were this were the case, then also similar thing might happen. Find out more examples of this category, then it will be clear to you. Now we have covered almost all rules, only one is remaining, that is if in side chain, in this place or maybe in both places, some complex group is there. The question is, what is a complex group? The complex group means any group which is present in side chain contains again side chains, that is side chain of side chains. Like branch of a tree may have further branches. So what does a complex side chain mean? A complex side chain means branching of branches. Now look, this is one example where this is the side chain, and from this picture it is clear that the side chain is not so simple. Now if this type of branching are there in side chain, the side chains are called complex side chain. Now what are the rules followed to give the numbering of this thing? Now first of all, the main chain as usual. Now come to this side chain is branched, so once again it is to be numbered, and in case of giving the number of this branching, first convention is the carbon which is attached to the main chain must be numbered with 1. So essentially this will be 1. Then find out the longest chain here again. Now if this be the case, how to write down the name of the compound? Again, don't think this as complex. Take this one as a simple group. Now what is the name of this compound? Rather group. This is 3 carbon containing, so this is propyl system, and since it is containing 2 side chains again, so this is methyl which is on second, again another methyl which is on second, so this is to be mentioned first. So what is the complex side chain coming? Now here 2 methyl groups are there, they are present, both of them are present on second carbon, so it will be 2, 2 dimethyl. This is coming for these 2, and this is propane system. Since this is present here, it will be ultimately a alkyl group, so it will be 2, 2 dimethyl, and from propane it will be propyl. So this is the substituent. Now look, this substituent may be present here, may be present here also, so you have to fix its position where actually it is present. Now the whole thing is substituent, so we are giving one parenthesis here, so this is the substituent and this is present to this carbon atom which is 5th, so write down 5 here, 5, then the complex group. Now as usual, so this is the name of the compound. So in this way complex groups are named, and one more example is there. If we consider this thing, then we shall be able to give the name of any complex substituents. So let me enter into the last example for today's class. Now look, this is the compound, and in this case 2 substituents are there. Since this carbon is linked to this carbon, this will essentially be the first carbon atom. Then find the longest carbon chain. Now what is remaining? This one and this one. So they are the substituents of the substituent. Now this one, this is ethyl group, so need not give the numbering. Now come to the main chain. If somebody says that I shall not follow this, I shall come from right side, so you have to give importance to him or her also. Now look at this. If we move from left to right, this group is coming on 5th and this on 7th, and if we move from right to left, this is coming on 5th and this is coming on 7th. So remember one example we have given in simple case also, that is one ethyl and one methyl, they were coming on same position from either of the directions. So here also this group is 5th and from left side, and this is 5th from right side. Again this is 7th from left and this is 7th from right, so tie is taking place. So what next? Now in that case, generally in normal cases, if we write down di, tri, tetra, etc., they are not considered when we have to give the preference of the numbering naming of the side chains. But if this type of complex groups are there and complex substituent is there, which is to be considered as substituent, and we have to decide depending on that, then this di, tri, etc., etc., are to be taken as the starting letter of the whole group. So if this group is dimethyl, then the name of this group is to be considered from di. So the group is starting with D, and this as usual is starting with E. So since this is coming first, so this is to be focused on, and we have to move from that direction where it comes first. So this is the right way of numbering, not this one. And when we shall mention the name of this compound, again this group is to be mentioned first. Okay, so the name will be, so this whole thing is constituting the secondary prefix portion, and then the longest chain. Now longest chain contains 11 carbon atom. It is little new to you. Up to 10 we have considered. Now this is called undecane, and so the root name will be undec. So after this continuously we have to write undec as the root name, and since it is saturated, N. So in this way we can give the name of side chains of any compound. So this is not applicable for alkane. If this type of groups are present in any compound, if you take any example from here, any acid, any alcohol, any aldehyde, whatever may be the case, this type of side chains may be there, and that is why this portion is so important. So if you memorize these rules, if you practice these rules, automatically these rules will be very easier to you. You will be able to identify these things, you will be able to familiar with these things, and once you be familiar with these things, the whole IUPAC naming system will be very easier to you. So that's all for today. Bye bye.